Nobody that you talk to that complain about police officers dealing with black people can tell you how many white people have been shot unarmed. They only can tell you black. Well, the statistical data point shows that white people get shot twice as much as black people do
I've seen you talk about
unarmed.
this.
White people get arrested twice as much as black people do. And, well, I say arrested, I mean for murder, twice as much as black people do. White people are the biggest population in prison. It's just that black people are disproportionately represented, but they're
Right,
not the
that's what I was
biggest
going to say.
population.
But there's a lot more white people, so it becomes
But
disproportionate.
black people commit a lot more crime disproportionately. And that's something that people are afraid to say. When you have a population that's 13% of the population represent half of the murders, I mean, what do they expect? They expect it to be 13% in the prison? No, it'll be half of black people in prison if they're committing half of the murders and half of violent crimes. And if we go to the root of this stuff,
I was
which
going to say,
nobody wants
okay,
to
right?
talk about.
That's exact redlining
The root of, but the root of it is, you know, to be
sabotaging the
honest,
black community in the
no,
80s and the Jim
to be
Crow,
honest,
all the
Jillian,
shit. You know, let's
but
not
to be honest,
pretend
Jillian,
like that
that's
didn't
not the
happen.
root. That's not the root. Because when you look at redlining, when you do the research about what it really is, redlining wasn't a race-based thing. When you look at the red line districts where they determined that this was the red areas, because they had red, they had yellow, and they had green, the red areas, most of the people that live in those areas were white. And they don't want to tell you that.
That I didn't see. I know that they weren't giving people of color loans.
No,
I
they
mean,
were
I
not
can't,
doing
like,
that.
I don't.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I wrote an op-ed about this, and there was research done that proved this. They don't tell you that the majority of the people in the red line districts were white. It's just that majority of the black people lived in the district. So disproportionately, black people were in the red line districts. The redlining was based on whether or not you can afford a certain loan because of your credit score or because of other various principles. It wasn't about black. It was about the zone of people. And when you go back and look at it, they were mad at redlining, quote unquote, because they disenfranchised black people who couldn't afford loans. But then you fast forward today, they were giving loans to black people who couldn't afford it. Now they call it predatory lending. A lot of the things that are going on are just talking points